When prime time is making news and it's associated with the Dallas Cowboys, you know what you gotta say to yourself? Come on, Jerry, get it together. The playoffs are going on without you. Come on, Jerry, you know you need a new man in that building. Get it together. Come on, Jerry, do what the people are clamoring for you to do, because when you do that, you can end up someplace like this, even with a cowboy hat on, you hear?
How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down the ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And with the talks of Jerry Jones reaching out to Deion Sanders, the coach of Dallas Cowboys, Cowboys Nation is getting themselves a little hyped up and could potentially be setting themselves up for a huge letdown for the 2025 season. On this morning's episode of Get Up, Ryan Clark, Bart Scott, Dan Graziano, and Mike Tannenbaum discussed the impact a Deion Sanders acquisition would have on our Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from Get Up.
I continue to think this is not the likely outcome, right? Like a lot has to happen. Deion at Colorado, you know, he's got some roots down there and has done well. But the fact that they've talked is not insignificant. It is Jerry that's going to make this decision. He could theoretically sell Deion on this opportunity and get him out of Colorado. So the thing people have to understand is if you go back a week and you ask Jerry Jones who the coach of the Cowboys is going to be next year, he would have said Mike McCarthy. Like this, they thought they would get a deal done with McCarthy. They didn't. So their search couldn't begin until early this week. And as of now, this is part of it.
Dan Graziano said it best. I continue to think this is not the likely outcome. Remember I said pie in the sky and sexy pick in my last video, Cowboys Nation? Look at the landscape of coaches that the Dallas Cowboys got to choose from right now. Ben Johnson, he's that pie in the sky pick, and Deion Sanders is that sexy pick, both of which probably won't happen. There's just too much standing in the way for this to happen, Cowboys Nation. It's not like I'm completely against the idea of Deion Sanders coming to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just being realistic here. I'm refusing to take it like we took the whole Derrick Henry situation, thinking of ways that the Cowboys could fit Derrick Henry into the scheme, begging Jerry Jones to take the opportunity and him doing the exact opposite of what the majority of the fan base wanted. Here we sat, pissed off at the fact that we get the leftovers while our opponents feast on the elite picks and have record-breaking seasons. All because Jerry Jones couldn't afford it, right, Cowboys Nation? But jumping into the second clip that I got for you, Bart Scott gives the crew his 2 cents on the thoughts of hiring Deion Sanders. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what he had to say and come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
I mean, this would be strictly a football. This isn't about selling tickers or back pages. Deion Sanders is a legitimate football coach who has proven himself at everything he's ever done.
You know him. I mean,
he was a teammate of mine for 2 years. Listen, people don't get confused with thinking Deion is like, you know, some new school type of guy. He's an old school principle guy. And what does the Dallas Cowboys need? Accountability. They've been living off of those, those 3 titles that they had in the 90s. Well, who better to come in than a guy that was part of that building process to help them get one of them chips? He can come in and he's one of the very few players that can get the ear of the audience and he can call guys out. And what could you say? If you want to build brands, that's who you talk to. He can be a resource for everybody in that locker room and everybody within that building.
But that's exactly what it's about, Bart Scott. It is about selling tickets, gaining popularity, and more notoriety for the brand. A marketing ploy to keep everybody talking about the Dallas Cowboys throughout the playoffs, into the Super Bowl, and throughout the offseason. We can either have a quick resolution or drag it out until the start of the legal tampering for the free agency phase starts. Then the headlines for the legal tampering can take over until the draft. Then the draft headlines can linger on to volunteer OTAs and minicamps. we own the media here in Dallas. But getting into that third clip, Ryan Clark comes in and co-signs the Dallas Cowboys bringing in Coach Prime. So let's take a listen to his compelling argument so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's go ahead and take a listen to Ryan Clark.
It's not necessarily just about the X's and O's. Obviously, he knows and understands how to build a program when you look at Jackson State and also Colorado. But for Jerry Jones and Deion, it's having a voice that you value and respect. Someone needs to be able to have a conversation with Jerry, because you're never going to tell Jerry what to do, that Jerry, this could be best for our team, and have him value that. And now when you look at a CeeDee Lamb, go back to last year when Dan and we're talking about the tours. Who better to say, okay, here is how you handle what it is to be a Dallas Cowboy better than primetime Deion Sanders.
Right.
The thing about these two men, there's no room that Deion Sanders is in where he's not the brightest light. There's no room that Jerry Jones is in where he's not the brightest light. How do they figure out a way to compromise when it comes to who is the biggest voice in this locker room? And I think that's what's most important.
All right, Ryan Clark. All right. You almost had me convinced, man. You almost did. You did, bro. A very compelling argument. But y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. All right, Mr. Clark. Your reason why he should come to Dallas is my reason why he won't come to Dallas. Like every Dallas Cowboy owner, worker, player, fan, convenience store clerk, and Walmart greeter knows, Jerry Jones is a very conservative owner. He doesn't make the splash trade or acquisition or hire. Jerry Jones likes to get more for less. You know, it's kind of like us on a budget going to shop at Walmart or something. There's some things that we'll need to spend some good money on, but there are things that you're looking to score a deal on as well. Why do I need the Wonder Bread when I can get the great value white bread and save a few dollars instead? Jerry likes to get more for less while doing more with less. And if you can get it for a steal, that's even better, Cowboys Nation. Not only that, but Jerry Jones has a hard time sharing the spotlight. Y'all know that. Y'all can go back and look at the involvement Mike McCarthy had when he, Jerry Jones, and Stephen Jones had a press conference. When they had one together, you could see how out of place Mike McCarthy was. Could you see Coach Prime doing that? Sitting by while Jerry tells the media what's going on in the locker room that he's probably stepped in only 10 times that week? Well, you can guarantee Jerry will be stepping in the locker room before and after the game, so there's 2, leaving 8. I kind of give you a little bit of props. I might be giving you too much props. But anyway, I'm not saying that I don't want to see Coach Prime come to Dallas. No, that's not what I'm saying. I would love for that to happen. I feel he'd be able to mold the locker room. He would be able to change the culture of that locker room. I believe he would change the Dallas Cowboys organization for the foreseeable future, but he would have to be given permission in order to do that. Jerry would have to admit to himself and the Cowboys world he's tired of the way things are going because it hasn't been producing any championships, and he is responsible for the way things have gone. He would have to concede, and conceding is truly hard for the conceited. Remember in the last video I said it wasn't the right time? What are the chances Jerry Jones gets rid of Dak Prescott? What are the chances of Jerry Jones getting Dak Prescott to lift that no-trade clause and be traded out and then move up in the draft to pick Deion Sanders? That's a splash move in itself. After you made the first splash move in attaining Coach Prime. I honestly feel that if Deion Sanders could part ways with Shadur and Shiloh Sanders, allow them to get drafted to the teams who actually draft them while Coach Prime comes to Dallas, I wouldn't mind that one bit. He could come to Dallas and set the groundwork during Dak's last 4 years, and at the end of Dak's contract, trade for Deion Sanders to quarterback the team. Whether fans like it or not, Dak has been signed to another 4 years. There's no trading him or benching him to get $60 million just to hold the clipboard. He is the Dallas Cowboys quarterback for at least the next 2 years. Unless you plan to waste Deion Sanders' first 2 years in the league, it's super bad timing, Cowboys Nation. The main reason why I feel skeptical is because I'm not going to allow another Derrick Henry or Amari Cooper situation to happen to me. I was super pissed off when Jerry wouldn't budge before the trade deadline, and when he did budge, he gave up yet another 4th-round pick. He disappointed the majority of Cowboys Nation with his lack of movement in the last few free agencies and trade deadlines. You can now show me better than you can tell me. If you're serious about getting Coach Prime in Dallas, please get him in Dallas. Get him to the Star for a cup of coffee. Make the steps toward bringing him in. Until you do that, I'm not putting any stock into what you say. I see the formal interviews that's being set up and who are scheduled for said interviews, Kellen Moore being one of them. I see those coaches are the likely candidates for the coaching position in Dallas, not Coach Prime. But this Coach Prime move would be an all-in move for Jerry Jones. This is that type of move that would show Cowboys Nation that you are super serious about winning. I'm just asking Cowboys Nation to temper your expectations just a little bit. Temper your expectation on the whole Deion Sanders becoming the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys thing. Because if it doesn't pan out in the long run, you guys are going to be pissed, left holding the bag while Jerry Jones runs all the way to the bank. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. I am not against Deion Sanders coming to the Dallas Cowboys, but I am against trusting Jerry Jones and doing the right thing. How do you feel about the situation, Cowboys Nation? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging the content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video and share it with whomever you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and want Jerry Jones to make the right decision at the head coach position, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, draft content, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. I see so many people putting stock into this whole Deion Sanders thing. I also foresee so many people getting pissed when we go into the offseason with somebody else other than Deion Sanders. Save the headache, Cowboys Nation. Save the headache until Jerry Jones shows you instead of telling you. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.